guys, in today's video I'm going to be discussing IBS symptoms in women, and also some of the differences between what you do tend to experience with IBS if you're female. I'm going to be doing a separate one for men. Obviously a lot of the symptoms are shared, but there are some differences, so I'm going to be guiding you through those in each video. Like I say, this is for women. Obviously you can still watch it if you're a man, but this is the sort of thing you want to be looking out for if you're a woman with IBS. So typical IBS symptoms are things like diarrhea, constipation, gas, nausea, bloating, stomach pain, and things like that. Now, some of the differences between men and women when it comes to IBS is not so much the symptoms, but often how our bodies respond to things like treatment. And also women do get a few symptoms that men don't. And also women's IBS is affected by different things. One of those things being hormones. So women tend to find, obviously IBS sufferers, women tend to find that their symptoms are often worse during their menstrual cycle. This is because hormones do play a really big part in how fast, apparently, this is through research obviously, how fast food has moved through the intestines in women. So that can obviously be why you may be finding that your symptoms are worse around your period. Now, another thing that women with IBS may notice is actually having urgency in the way of urinating. So if you're experiencing urinary urgency, that can be related to IBS, but obviously it can be related to many other things as well. This is a symptom that men supposedly don't suffer with. IBS sufferers, I mean, obviously men can still suffer with urinary urgency, but in relation to IBS, this is a difference between men and women. Now, the last difference is bloating. Women suffer predominantly more with bloating than men. Men can suffer with bloating still, but not to the extent that women have been shown to. Now, I wasn't able to find out why this is, why women suffer more with bloating. I mean, my guess is that obviously when you've got your period, obviously going back to the hormonal thing, obviously our IBS in women is affected more by hormones than it is for men. So when you've got your period, you tend to be more bloated, or I am anyway. Flippin' heck. So I don't know if it might have some relation to the hormonal side of things. I don't really know. And as I say, I wasn't able to find out the reason for that, just that it's a fact apparently that women suffer a lot more with bloating than men do. Now, I do want to use this video, specifically with it being for women with IBS, to just point out about a condition called endometriosis, which I make a lot of videos for and I suffer from myself. The thing is, every time I do my research, and especially if it's to do with women and IBS and hormones, is that, you know, it's just a prime example here where it's saying about hormones affecting women, women's IBS. The thing is that for me, I'm just passing on information I've researched and found out. But even with this, I'm surprised at the fact that endometriosis wasn't mentioned. Now, the reason I say this is because if you're finding that you're having IBS symptoms only around your period, or they're significantly worse, there is a good chance you may be suffering with a condition called endometriosis. I do have a video on endometriosis and what it is, so I will link that for you. Endometriosis, just to give you a brief rundown, is like a reproductive problem for women. Men can't get it. It affects the reproductive organs and can also affect, it can actually affect anywhere in your body, even your brain, but typically within the pelvis and stomach area. As I say, I won't go into detail about what endometriosis is here, but I know that some of the big symptoms for endometriosis are bowel symptoms, and especially bowel symptoms around your period. And if you're getting severe period pain, that you can really interferes with your daily activities, extremely heavy periods, abnormally painful as well. Like, your period shouldn't actually be really painful, that is not normal. Even though you may have heard that it's normal. Discomfort, yeah, but not severe pain, that isn't normal. And I'm just telling you from someone, myself, I was misdiagnosed, or not misdiagnosed, I do have IBS as well as endometriosis, but it was always, all my symptoms were just put down to IBS, when in fact I actually had endometriosis as well. And they think I had it for about 10 years before being diagnosed, which seems to be the typical amount of time that women wait for a diagnosis. Some women probably are never diagnosed and just think they've got IBS. It's actually shocking how little there is out there about endometriosis. Horrible condition. Sorry, I don't want to be like, you might have it and it's awful. It is though, I can't lie. Endometriosis is not very nice. I do a lot of videos on endometriosis and how you can manage your symptoms and things like that as well. But anyway, I'm kind of going off on a side subject here, but it's important that I do mention it, because I do raise awareness for endometriosis and it does feel very relevant to this video, with it being for IBS, and how IBS affects women and how there's differences in symptoms between men and women. So that is it for this video. Obviously there are more symptoms of IBS, I've just highlighted some of the main ones, and it was more about telling you a few of the differences between IBS in women and IBS in men. So look out for the other video, which will be like part 2 for men, which is where I'll be discussing how IBS affects men and the symptoms men get. So yes, I do hope this video has been helpful. Please give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and subscribe to my channel if my content is helpful to you, or if you just enjoy learning about IBS and endometriosis, or whatever your reason may be. I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning, my name is Samantha, and I'm not a doctor either. I just do a lot of research on these subjects. So I do hope to see you next time. Drop some video comments and requests below, and I will get on to them, and I'll see you next time.